Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our journey in discovering one new expression a day. We are coming across some interesting concept lately that we're talking about being drunk, the state of being drunk or dreamy. So yesterday, 醉生梦死. And today we continue with 梦, 如梦如幻. This is a phrase that often used actually a lot in marketing material when they say they created a dreamy land, especially picture a wedding ceremony. I mean, wedding ceremony, wedding planning, big business in China. And a lot of times people may say 如梦如幻. So that's the kind of a ceremony that you expect to have because it's a once in a lifetime. People are going to squander on that. Okay, 如梦如幻. We have a repetition there. When we have a repetition, we have a kind of a rhythm, right? Because the same beat, and you just fill in different things. And Chinese, well, I guess in English, we have like father, like son. This like and like, this kind of comparison with the same word put in there, just filling different things afterwards, is a comparable, like similar structure with 如梦如幻. It's also a comparison, as if it's a dream or an illusion. Okay, let's start with 如. 如, we have this female sign over there and a mouse symbol over there. So female, okay, we know Chinese human beings. It's non-gendered generic human, just two-leg standing living being. This left and right stroke, that's 人. But when we talk about gender specific, now it's a 女人, right? It's 女, this character. That's female. There's still two legs over there, but it's depicting a female, like it was two hand folded in the front, kind of like that, and with curves over there, just a little bit more, like a more dimension almost. It's not a flat, just two legs standing up there. There are more details on this female figure. So I guess that's the gender features that language creators can capture here to say, okay, just by the look of it, you can tell it's a female that we're talking about here. And the female, the mouse symbol over there, oftentimes it's kind of like a box, right? With two corners, up to the corner. I interpreted it as a smiley face because it's up to the corners of mouse. But it could be just a stylized because I don't exactly associate Chinese as a group of people or culture that's culturally encouraging people to smile a lot. I do personally, but I don't find it's that common that you like to smile that much. It's not a common cultural attribute. Let's just say that. It's super generalized. That's how I feel, what I observe. So this mouse symbol, even if with an up tilted corner, it may not symbolize a smiley face. It's easier for memorizing that way. This mouse symbol often used to depict the speaking. So somebody is speaking. When you're speaking and pair it with a female figure over there, it's almost like, because females in the culture settings in Chinese is supposed to behave submissively, right? So female following the instruction or the speaking represented by the mouse symbol over there, simply like following the orders. And this following eventually extended or extracted into comparison, like we're describing A that's kind of following a similar structure or behavior or some sort of attribute like B. So we are comparing A and the B, one following another, so following the same logic or something. So that's 如, and 如 came from this following, female following instructions to comparison, one thing following the other. Okay, so now we are comparing dream and illusion to something. So basically here is like create a dreamy place. Picture, okay, movie La La Land. Okay, probably this is kind of applicable, 如梦如幻, applicable to that movie. So it's like create a dream world that's not reality, at least for the majority, 99.9% of us. So that's a dream world created. And that's the comparison of that dreamland world comparison to dream and the illusion. 如梦如幻. And then whoever is the language user, right? When they see this phrase, they will realize, okay, we are talking about a fantasy or dream. Don't take it that serious. Okay, so again, we have this eyeball symbol with this bed frame, and you can regard it as bed head frame on the bed. So it's something related to sleeping at the evening. This is the evening sign, like a crescent moon. And then this is a domestic space. It's a shelter, safe, warm, right? With a chimney there. So it's a domestic in the evening on a bed frame. And then the eyes are not a regular eyeball, it's diagonal. So it's not a seeing things straight. So it's depicting the state where the eyes are almost like seeing things blurry. It's because it's in a dream. It's not in a reality. They're actually having your full vision. So this is depicting the environment, the setting when dreams occur to imply, okay, with all that, it's most likely it's the dream that we're talking about. Okay, and the Huan is a very interesting character that you can see. Well, normally Chinese, we don't have triangles. We only have triangle symbol a couple of times that have came across so far. So we have two triangles here, right? And they're opposite side. And one with a kind of a handle over there. So according to scholars, okay, look here. I didn't do the flipping. It came as, the character came as this, and this Huan came as this. That means this Huan actually came from the flipping of the other character upside down, 180 degrees a turn, rotation. So this character talks about this triangle thing with this tail, according to some scholars, as the hand. Like picture your hand, you're pushing something forward. And then the other triangle on the other hand is the object that's under your hand that you're pushing away from you. So this character with this two interlocked triangle thing and with this handle at the bottom, that handle is actually your portion of your hand, your forehand a little bit. And the triangle is your palm, basically. Original idea of that is to give, because you, from your hand, and this is kind of viewer, from your language viewer's perspective, that this is facing you, right? So this is your hand, basically. It's your hand facing in your direction, that you can position your hand like that. And then something within your hand, you're giving away. So this character originally depicting giving, and that giving concept eventually extended somehow. There's a lot of example over there, becomes self-referral. Chinese has a ton of self-referral. Even if contemporary Chinese will only have 我, that's it. But in ancient Chinese, there are multiple expressions of self-referral. They have different origins. They may have different applications in certain language contexts. They can pick different versions of self-referral. But this is one of them. And it came from this giving concept. Isn't that a beautiful concept? To associate yourself, self-referral, to the act of giving away something. So I guess that's kind of encouraging members in the society to be more giving, because that's eventually what defines you as a member of the society, by how much you can give. Maybe I'm trying to imagine why giving, this visual representation of giving, something you're pushing away with your palm, that from things that hold under your palm that you're pushing away from you, that act of giving is associated with me and this concept. Okay, now Huan is this 180 degrees of flipping of self-referral. So that upside down look of yourself is like your altered self. And that alteration of your sense of self becomes the concept of illusion. Chinese occasionally have this rotation, 180-degree rotation, creating a new concept by showing you actually this came from, or this is exact 180-degree rotation of another character. So we have seen this before as a human figure look like this. And when it's flipped under 180 degrees, it becomes change, because we're using that to show it's a different angle of that person. That person doesn't look the same anymore. So there is change in between. So there's a little bit of a logic jump over there, but this creation of a new, pretty abstract concept like illusion, right, from the existing character by rotating it 180 degrees, I find that's amazing way to create a concept. Illusion simply means you are viewing yourself differently. And it's probably not reality-based because it's a flipped. It's upside down, so it's kind of, you lose your balance almost, right? You lose your grounding. So that's the definition of illusion, is alt existence. And so I'm using this picture by this photographer, I don't know how to pronounce the name, Mikoladrstad, because okay, I otherwise don't know about his work, because I was searching 如梦如幻, how Chinese in the Chinese media world would apply this phrase to. So this is one of the photography that I used the phrase on, that describe this dreamy world that involves the star-studded night sky, reflection on water, very peaceful mirror-like water, and you have a horizon of the merge of the heaven and water, and there's this boat. That's almost like unrealistic, right? You don't see that in your life often, and that is defined by this, described. That's appropriate use of this phrase, 如梦如幻, because it's not exactly everyday scene. It could be artificially created. In this thing, the photographer created this piece, probably not because he created a whole set and then pictured this, probably because he came across this, and it could exist in a corner of the planet. It's just not in our everyday life. And the whole setting, the night sky, and the techniques he used, I assume it's a he, maybe it's a she, to create this dreamy world. That's a very good match to the context to use this 如梦如幻 phrase. And as I said, the Chinese wedding industry like to create this dreamy land that's not realistic, but everything is artificial, set up, but just so as if you're walking into a dream to hold your wedding ceremony. So that's another comparable setting. Okay, that's about it. 如梦如幻. Cashing to the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.